Yo, Mike's on. Let these jokers know what time it is. You the man when it comes to sports. I only respect your opinion. Oh yeah, I'm the best ever.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Rocket City Network, another episode of Speak On It. Got my co-host with me, Courtney. Today, we want to talk about a subject that we've already touched on. It's about to get pretty ugly for Mr. Mike Tyson, right? So I brought Courtney on because he had some things that he wanted to say on the subject. We definitely want to stay on topic with this one. Um, Mike has done a couple of drops for the show. You guys have heard him in some of the intros, and we kind of want to be fair and balanced. So Courtney, what is
Mhm.
your overall take on what has transpired with Mike Tyson?
Man, I really honestly I don't know. Like I watched the video you did last night. And that was the first time I heard of it. I mistakenly thought that it was something recent, like because you were like new allegations, and I was like, oh snap! Like I didn't hear nothing about it. But then I watched your video last night, and yeah, man, I just think if it's true, that he got an answer for it.
Yeah.
Like, and I know people are gonna say, well, why did she wait until now?
Mm-hmm.
If this happened in the 90s. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, man, people never get over trauma. It takes people a long time to get over
Mm-hmm.
trauma. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're a female and if you've ever experienced something
Mm-hmm.
like that, we can't tell her how to when to tell her story or how to tell it, or we can't dismiss her feelings. And I feel like if these allegations are true, then Tyson needs to come forward. If they're true, he needs to, buckle up. But if they're
Yeah.
not true, he needs to come out and adamantly deny these statements. Now we know about Desiree Washington that
Yeah.
happened in Indianapolis in the 90s
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I'm a Mike Tyson fan. I love Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But now Mike Tyson, if this is true, sir, listen, you can't get away. Like none of us can get away with doing dirt. And this just another skeleton in his closet. And I pray that I hope it's not true, but if it's true and the young lady is true to her words, then he needs to be held accountable for what he did.
Definitely. So I'm about to pull up an article that just posted. So this was an article that was released from Boxing Scene. The young lady in question stated that I met Mike Tyson in the early 1990s at a dance club called September's, the affidavit read. My friend and I were hanging out with him and his limousine driver. Tyson told us about a party and asked us to join him. The friend was going to drop her car off, and Tyson said he would pick her up in the limousine, right? The suit was filed under New York Audit Survivors Act, which empowers survivors of sexual assault that occurred when they were over 18 to sue their abusers, irrespective of when the offense took place. Now, I want to point that out, right? So earlier, you said that it really doesn't matter of when it happened. Wrong is wrong, right? So this was actually a new legislation that was put in by Governor Kathy Hochul, right, last spring.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are saying, "Well, why did it wait? Why did she wait for 30 years to bring this out?" Well, I mean, now she has some legislation to help her to back her up, right?
Yeah.
And so the young lady goes on to say, I would like to preserve my privacy in this matter of a sensitive and highly personal nature, the plaintiff wrote in her affidavit. Tyson is a famous celebrity, and I know I would be attacked by the media and all of his fans. The identification of myself to my friends, family, coworkers, and the general public would certainly pose a risk to me of further mental harm, harassment, ridicule, or personal embarrassment. That is very telling, man. Like I said, if this is true, I mean, she's had to live with this for a long time, and you watch somebody that violated you become a superstar in the media, right? Everybody loves him. And you're going to feel like nobody's going to believe you if you do say that, hey, he sexually assaulted me in the 1990s. Now, what is your take on after hearing her affidavit?
Ah, man, I don't know, man. Like, I guess it's like if we gotta, like, Tyson has to come out and say something, you know. Um, he has to come out and deny it, or he has to come out and a lawyer be like, we're gonna put out a statement later. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like the longer this goes, the longer that this is out there without him responding, it only looks bad for him.
Yeah.
And it only looks good for the young lady. Again, I'm not going to question her story because I know rape is a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know too many women have experienced that, and like she said, um, like, you know, her statement about him being the superstar and he's gonna get, you know, she's gonna feel harassment and stuff like that. So imagine how many other women out there who have experienced something like this by somebody they know or whatever, and they don't have and they don't have, and it's not done by a celebrity, but they still face harassment and ridicule and things like that. And so I just feel like if her story stays consistent with it, it doesn't veer off anywhere. If she stays consistent with her story, I feel like not that she would be more believable. I'll be like, if she just stays consistent with it, I think, you know, Tyson is forced to come out and either, okay, this happened, or no, it didn't. But you can not, and I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm pretty sure if he knows about this, he's on the phone with his lawyer or his circle, and they're gonna figure out how they can counterattack this moving forward.
Yeah. And the one thing I fear is that if her identity is revealed, and say if she doesn't have a perfect life, say if she's been somebody who's suffered from some kind of drug addiction, alcohol addiction, might have not had steady jobs throughout her life, might have had some issues with family members, kids, maybe an ex-husband. I fear that people will put that against her.
Yeah,
And we've seen it before.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
No, you're exactly right. Because how many times have we, as soon as Breonna Taylor's name and George Floyd and countless others who were murdered by the cops, as soon as they dig into their past, Breonna Taylor was holding drugs for her ex-boyfriend. Lie. Oh, George Floyd, he robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint. While that may have been true, that was 10, 15 years ago. He has since turned his life around. But see, like you bring up an excellent point. When somebody wants to defend somebody they revere, they are always going to victim blame the other individual.
Yes.
Like George Floyd, he was on fentanyl, try to make him, to justify him dying at the knee of this policeman, to justify Breonna Taylor being murdered, right? To justify Mike Tyson, if these allegations are true, this young lady may have been promiscuous, like you said, may have multiple children, may have multiple baby fathers. So because her lifestyle choices are not the best, it makes it easy for them to nitpick her and say, oh, well, yeah, this happened, but she probably led him on and whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what she did. No means no. I don't care who you are. No means no. And so if Tyson did this, then yes, he needs to be held accountable.
Yeah. And don't let it be, where she comes out or it's discovered that she was maybe an exotic dancer.
Oh man.
I mean, so
man.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Right.
So, and you alluded to it too. So many times people are judged by the profession. Anybody can be assaulted.
Anybody.
Criminals in the jail, in the prison system are assaulted. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. I already know how his fans are gonna are going to react to it. You know,
Mhm.
there's a certain kind of relationship that fans have with celebrities that they don't even know.
It's crazy.
They fear that these celebrities can do no wrong.
Right.
You know, and I don't want to veer off because I did say in the beginning we want to stay on topic, but I will say this in sports. If you have a person that is held in such high esteem, say like a Michael Jordan,
Hmm.
and you tell them, hey, he was arrogant, he hit his own teammates, he choked out his teammates, he was rude to fans, these folks will dismiss it.
Hmm.
But you still got 6 rings.
Listen, that's the
Yeah,
end all
yeah.
be all, man.
Yes. If you bring up the allegations of Elvis, of any kind of celebrity that has a cult type following,
Trump.
Trump, right? Anybody that has a cult following,
Yeah.
the fans will try to discredit the accuser.
Every time.
I remember last year, there was a situation which, it was under the rug and you might not have heard about it, but there was some women who actually came out and accused George Foreman
Yeah.
of rape, right?
On his
But
own
a lot of
thunder.
folks, they're like, shit, I got my George Foreman grill. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look at the juices. Look at the juices. He couldn't
Buck,
have done
what you
that.
say? Buck, what you call it?
Bojangling and buck dance.
Bojangling and buck dance. That's George Foreman. That's George Foreman right there.
Yes, man. Um, so you can imagine how a person who is feels that they're powerless. They might not have the money, right?
Right.
To fight off attacks, to if the fandom becomes crazy and they start attacking her, find out where she lives, she might not have the resources to move away.
Mm-mm.
So she's probably already thought about all these
Correct.
potential negative consequences
Yeah.
that could happen if she did come out.
Yeah.
And so many times people are reluctant to come out because they too are thinking like, hey,
Yeah.
if I do this, I can lose my job. Hey, I got this situation going on in my life. I can lose my kids. So
Well, mhm.
very sad. And like I said, I mean, I hope it's not true, but if it is, Tyson he has to come forward and he has to pay the price.
Yeah.
There is no shot clock on rape. No shot clock.
It's not.
Yeah.
And when did and like when did America or when did this country or maybe in the world period, but definitely here in America, when we've had high profile sexual assault cases and rape cases, it's sad to see how many people, like you said, will immediately back the accused and ridicule the accuser. Like I've never seen anything like that. I remember a couple years ago where the white guy Brock somebody in Stanford. I don't know if you
Mhm.
remember the story, but he raped an unconscious girl by a dumpster.
Mm.
And he was a swimmer at Stanford, and a fellow student saw him and basically knocked him out,
Mhm.
knocked him off her, and they let this dude go. The judge said because he has a promising future ahead of him, and I'm like, so what about the girl that he raped
Exactly.
unconscious? She was listen to me. She could not fight him off of her. He's a sick individual, and you say he has
Mhm.
a bright future. You're only setting him up to be even more brazen and dangerous moving forward.
Mhm.
But he think he got away, but he hasn't gotten away
Yeah.
because somewhere down the line, karma's gonna come knocking.
Yeah. He got away with it, but he didn't get away with
He
it.
get away with it, yeah.
And so this might be the same situation with Tyson. Of course he's had a troubled past, but when things keep on, finding themselves and finding you and
Right.
always manifesting themselves, you have to question like, hey man, what we're seeing him in 2023, is it just an illusion?
Mm.
So more to come on this story, man. It's like I said, I'm just shocked at the amount of press that it's not getting,
Right.
you know. But again, America, we love our athletes. Our athletes can do no wrong.
Mm-mm.
It's crazy. Well, there you have it, folks. The Rocket City Network. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we are out. Yeah.